Hey everybody, KC here. Happy Wednesday. I hope you had a great 4th. So today I want to talk about Hokas, okay? And not just because I love my Hokas, okay? This is the 3rd pair I've owned. I think they're terrific. But I actually want to talk about them because there was a piece in the Wall Street Journal about Hoka. And basically the people who founded Hokas, they sold the company to another company called Decker Brands in 2012. At that point, their sales were about $3 million a year. Over the past fiscal year, Hoka sales have been $1.4 billion. $1.4 billion up in just about a decade from $3 million. I'd say Decker Industries made a pretty good investment. But one of the things that the story says in the journal is that these peculiar shoes, and they are peculiar, they're a little bigger, a little bit more unwieldy looking than traditional running shoes. They've become the oversized sneakers of choice for people who are hardcore runners and people who have a hard time walking. Athletes, nurses, restaurant waiters, postal workers, TV writers, cool teens, and their grandpas. I'm not sure where I fit into that group. Some wear them because they want to, others wear them because they have to. Either way, a great many of them develop a fascination and then an obsession with their Hokas, which have conquered the hearts, wallets, and feet of American consumers. And I have to say, you could probably fit me into that group. I used to wear nothing but New Balance, and I found myself more and more just wearing my Hokas. I just think they're great shoes. But the journal has a business perspective on this as well. The success of Hoka, they write, was also made possible by the brand's counterintuitive business strategy. They grew fast by moving slowly. I quote, Hoka's selective distribution keeps supply below demand and maintains the premium appeal of sneakers that generally cost between $125 and $175. Hoka's executives are pacing themselves, cautious about getting too big too soon, betting that trying to win every consumer is how a company loses its identity. They're running the business as if they're running a marathon. And the thing is, they're absolutely right. Scarcity can be a good thing. There's nothing wrong with being out of an item. I don't care if you're a shoe store or you're a supermarket. If you explain why, and then you do your level best to help the customer get what he or she needs, right? Communication is a big part of that. By doing that, you actually create a relationship. You go from being a source of product to being a resource for the shopper. Now, the thing is sometimes it doesn't work out for the retailer if they're not communicating very well. We have a little small independent local running shop in town here. And that's where I got my first 2 pair of Hoka. I needed a new pair. I went in and they didn't have what I wanted. They didn't have the style. They didn't have the color I wanted. And I think, listen, if you're gonna spend this much money on a pair of running shoes, you ought to get the color you want. And not only didn't they have it, but they were slow to kind of figure out that they didn't have it. Not very good about communicating all that. I don't mind the fact that they had the limited supply. I was willing to work with them on that. I figured they could just order something, but they just never really stepped up. So eventually I got just frustrated with the process, and I got a pair in 2 days. I went through Zappos. Absolutely no problem at all. I love this line from the journal story. Hoka executives can afford to be judicious because there'll always be a market for any product that solves problems and provides value. Solves problems, provides value. Those are 4 words that ought to define every brand. And to do that, communicate constantly. And that's the recipe for success. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this morning. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.